everyone, and welcome to the Writer's Reality Show. I finally got it right this week. I call it the Author's Reality Show, but I'm sure that Brandy calls it something else since she invented the show. It's one or the other. And I'm going to go ahead and let her pick which one it is and then tell us a bit about how this show got started.
Welcome to Writing Reality, because this is the reality of writing, see? Yeah, we got started with this 9 years ago with just a concept and a crowdfunding campaign that fell flat on its face. But the next time I tried it, I only made $10 of the $2.5 million I was trying to raise. But I did end up on a podcast where I met Jade and Wilnona, the And I Thought ladies. And now here we are years later, actually putting this thing into practice, making it a reality. And welcome to the show. And that's the long and the short of it.
Thank you, Brandy. Now that we've heard the glorious history of this show, let's go ahead and we're going to tell everyone that this show is for 4 authors to compete for one publishing contract. And I know everyone is dying to meet those 4 brave souls.
Well, so we don't have 4 anymore, remember? We got rid of one last week, sadly. This is the second week of elimination round. So by the time we're done here, we're only going to have 2.
Yep, it'll be the final week. I'm sad to say goodbye. It hurt so much last week to say goodbye. Yeah, that explains why I don't see his face.
That's right. That explains why you don't see his face. Did you forget about our elimination rounds?
I surely did. You know me. I'm too kind to eliminate anyone. So we now have 3 authors going for the one contract. And let's meet those brave souls. Let's start off with the person who did the most talking, was the most fun before the show started, Dr. Mike.
I am a retired physician. I practiced for 38 years. Half of that time I practiced as a chiropractor, actually for almost the first 15 years. And then because I practiced in a rural community with almost 500 Amish families, I had to go back to school and get my medical degree so that I could finish my practice as an emergency medicine physician. So I have lots of interesting stories about the time that I spent. For the last 20 years, I did house calls. Wow. And before that, I worked as an engineer. I was one of the first people that was ever allowed into the containment vessel at 3 Mile Island after it melted down. I worked as an engineer at that time. And before that, I am a 100% disabled Vietnam veteran. That's enough life for plenty of people. So if you get me interested and buy me a drink, I can tell you an interesting story.
What is it? What you call your writing style, and what is the most challenging moment you've had so far in your writing career, and how did you get over it?
This right here. This has been the most challenging thing for me. I write with emotion, and I write it down, and after I edit it, I show it to people. But writing on demand and writing for someone else's audience, like the people that want to disembowel me, is very difficult. And I've been crabby all week.
Okay. Okay, let's go to Lisa, the only lady that is on our contestant side. Lisa, can you tell us a bit about yourself, about your writing style, and what greatest challenge have you faced in your writing career, and how did you get over it?
Thank you, Wilnona. And Mike, thank you for your service. I write edgy stories of corruption, secrets, and escape through the eyes of snarky, obsessive protagonist, willing to uncover truths and find justice at almost any personal cost. My books are fast-paced, high-concept action thrillers with maximum impact and deep meaning and relevance. And a really challenging moment for me as a writer, I was working with Rebel, a commercial publisher, and they had just published one book the previous year. And a month before my next book was about to be released, this is like 5 books ago, they went out of business, and that was just took the wind out of my sails. I had to decide what I was going to do. And it was a really good moment for me because I learned a lot about what I want and what my goals are and what I was willing to do. And it was like all failure, even though I didn't make the publishing company go out of business, it's still kind of a failure. It taught me a lot and made me ask myself some good questions. So thank you. I'm grateful to be here again.
Wolf, can you tell us a bit about yourself, your writing style, and the greatest challenge you've had for writing and how you got over it?
Well, so unlike Mike, my life was pretty boring because I forgot most of it. No, I vaguely remember trying to protect the Earth from alien creatures for the Men in Black, but then I looked into a neuralizer, I think, so I don't remember much. But I use all these implanted memories from the agency to write what I call non-magical realism, thrillers that could take place as the locations are correct, even the weather is right, the pop culture references are real. And part of the problem with that is that I'm a perfectionist, so at times I will 6 weeks later change one word because it just wasn't the exact right fit. So I have the same problem that James Joyce has. It takes me a day to write one chapter. Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing that you got finished in time for the submitting of the chapters this week. Now, what was your greatest challenge in writing, and how did you get over it?
Well, that's basically this perfectionism, and that at a certain point you just have to say it is good enough, and that's probably the most important thing I learned on my first job. Sometimes, how did the saying go? I'm sorry, I have to choose my words carefully. Sometimes a job worth doing is worth doing good enough.
I think that's writing for everyone, because you read back over it later and you're like, well, that could have been better. If I just had a pen right now.
And it helps to have deadlines. You said Tuesday, so Tuesday it is.
I am glad that everyone got in their chapter. So just in case you're wondering what we're talking about this week, our contestants had 1 week to write a chapter. It's a little less than 1 week. To write a chapter, submit it, and send it to the judges. Now, you as the audience do not get to read that chapter, but our judges are reading it or have read it, and they're going to add it into their critiques this evening. Now, we've met all of our contestants, and you guys know what time it is. It's challenge time. So, Brandy, can you tell them what this week's challenge is?
Absolutely. This week's challenge, each author will be choosing 3 meaningful paragraphs to read to the audience. And out of that will come some judging. There will be judgment.
And unfortunately, since this is an elimination week, one of our dear writers has to go. And I'm so sad because they worked so hard on these beautiful chapters. But I know that these beautiful books will find homes. I'm pretty sure of it.